everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to recap this past Saturday's action, which included Arthur Abraham versus Paul Smith in a rematch of their super middleweight title fight back in the fall. And then we also had Golovkin versus Martin Murray, which is the best available guy for Golovkin right now, considering the circumstances that we've been over a million times, and we're not going to go over again. So we're just going to get right into the action with, first off, Abraham Smith 2. Now, if you guys saw the preview video, which you should, we pretty much said that that fight was going to be exactly the same as, the rematch would be exactly the same as the first fight. That's what we got. Except this time, Abraham left no doubts as to who won. Now, early on, Paul Smith still showed the faster hands. He was still a little bit busier. Abraham still started slow, just like he always does. But then he started to land the harder punches, started throwing in combination, and Paul Smith didn't take advantage of opportunities that he had to capitalize on Abraham's inactive periods, like when he would sit on the ropes with his guard up. Paul Smith really didn't go to work on him like you would think someone would when they sit on the ropes with their hands up like this. So, you know, he might have been kind of wary of the power of Abraham. He might not have wanted to get caught, because Abraham does like to let people do their work and then try to counter off of it as soon as they're done. Maybe not. Maybe he got tired. Who knows? But Abraham put the stamp on the win. He's going to try and fight Sturm, and we'll see if that comes about. You got anything before we move on?
Nothing. Abraham came and did what he had to do to get that win. He's going to try to fight Sturm, and he's actually going to possibly try to fight Robert Stiglitz.
Yeah, they already fought 3 times.
And well,
I don't understand why they fight again.
It's only so many German middleweights, and you know, they're looking for that big money. They're not going to take huge risk at this point.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
We know who the top guys in the middleweight division and the super middleweight division, so they're not in a hurry to fight those guys.
Not again. Abraham's already been through a few of them and didn't fare too well against them, like Ward and Froch. He never got to fight Kessler, did he?
I thought he did fight Kessler.
I don't think he fought Kessler.
Oh.
No, because I think Kessler pulled out of the tournament, but that was, I don't remember. It was so long ago. I'm gonna have to look that up and put that right there on the thing. It's getting kind of late, guys, but we still got to get you guys get this info out of here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next fight, which is the fight everybody was watching anyway, which is Gennady Golovkin versus Martin Murray. Now, in this one, we both thought that Golovkin would get his 19th straight knockout. I thought it'd be early, and it almost happened. Daggone timekeeper. But
yeah, I have no idea what the timekeeper was doing. I think it was like, what, a few seconds left in the round, or
it was like a whole good 10 seconds left, and he had Murray ready to go. And first the ref stopped because he heard the little click for the 10-second warning, but it was at like 15 to 20 seconds left. And then at 10 seconds they rang the bell. I was like, man, I was that close. But I wasn't getting paid for it, so I wasn't too mad, for real. But other than that, we got another great performance from Golovkin. We got a very gritty game performance from Murray. And he did a lot of things that maybe somebody can say, hey, maybe I'll roll the dice and take my chances with Golovkin.
Well, yeah, I think Murray came with a good enough plan. His only thing is he can box, but he's not the masterful boxer. He's not as good as a good boxer as Golovkin. And he damn sure didn't have the power, because had he had the power, he consistently landed that overhand right.
Yes, he did.
And it was a counter overhand right from was it the jab?
Yeah, he counted over his jab.
He counted over his jab very well. The only thing is, one, Golovkin has a granite chin, and two, Martin Murray just doesn't have the pop necessary to back Golovkin up.
Right, and I liked what he was doing earlier. I mean, it didn't work as much late because he wasn't throwing as often, but he would throw his work and then tie Golovkin up. Or he'd move around the ring, and if he didn't like what he saw, he'd tie Golovkin up, move him around, and then let him go and punch. I thought that was brilliant in like the first 2 rounds. I did give him one of those 2 rounds. I gave him the first round. And I think HBO gave him the second round.
Yeah.
But he did great work in those first 2 rounds. And then that power started to show. Like we said, Golovkin is very underrated as far as his accuracy and technical skill. But it shows up in every single fight. Everyone is really focused on that power, but how he delivers that power is what makes him special. His ability to time you and throw punches at the same time you're throwing punches, and it just makes for a really big conundrum for his opponents. It's like, I can hit this guy, but he's going to hit me back, and it's going to hurt a lot more.
Now, I did notice another thing with Golovkin is when Martin Murray, again, had he had maybe half the power of Golovkin, when he let his hands go, he actually fared very well. It's just that,
Right.
yeah, I mean, he like really let his hand go, and I saw Golovkin because he caught Golovkin very quite a few times. The only problem was, I mean,
He didn't have any power.
yeah, the power just wasn't there. When he let his hand go, Golovkin either tried to make a miss, which he really didn't do that great of a job, but he covered up, which might be able to take, someone might be able to take advantage of that if they have any kind of pop.
Right. He also landed a great left hook to the body on a consistent basis. And he also made Golovkin reset a lot. Not only with the holding, but also just landing punches. He also punched with Golovkin as well. And for someone who is as fearsome a puncher as he is, that shows some great determination from someone to be willing to take that fire in order to land their own shots, especially when they know they're outgunned. So you really got to take your hat off to Martin Murray for going out there and doing his best and not trying to pack it in and just go home once he felt the power of Golovkin. You really got to appreciate that. And we also have to appreciate the technical skill that Golovkin has. Because I think a lot of people forget that he is an amateur. Then he has a gold medal.
Yeah.
He's an amateur gold medalist. He had hundreds of fights. This guy is very, very grounded in his fundamentals. And you can tell when you see him fight. He knows how to cut the ring off. He knows how to throw hooks in different ways to get them into the target, and they're still technically correct the way someone would teach you how to do it in the gym. His footwork, while it's not like very fleet-footed like a Pernell Whitaker or Mayweather or somebody like that, I heard the commentators compare him more to Julio Cesar Chavez, and that's a pretty good comparison. A middleweight version of Chavez.
He's always in position to throw his punch properly,
right,
and where he wants it.
And not only that, he also varies the speed on his punches. Sometimes he's going to tap you. Sometimes he's going to bring the thunder. You never know when it's going to happen. And in those combinations, he'll tap, tap, boom, boom, tap, tap, boom. Like, you don't know what's coming when. Like, you're like, okay, this one didn't hurt. Oh, that one did. Oh, this one, So he's keeping his opponent guessing when he's throwing his combinations. And also, he's using little subtle movements as far as defense, defensively. Both Gill and Murray were able to put hands on him. But he's able to take just enough off of those punches to where it's not really affecting him too much. Like, the most he has to do is reset. Now, granted, both of these guys weren't the most powerful punchers, So maybe if he gets in there with maybe like a Quillen, someone who can punch, we'll see what happens. But he was in there with Curtis Stevens. Curtis Stevens, we know, can punch.
Right.
And I think he might have bothered Golovkin once in that fight, from what I remember. He had him with like maybe 1 or 2 good hooks. And he backed up, shook it off, and kept on coming. What you got?
Not much. Where does Golovkin go from here?
Exactly.
All the champions are pretty tied up. Cotto, who is the
Lineal champ.
He's a lineal champ. Is not getting his fight with Canelo for whatever reason, whether it's money or because of the announcement.
Yeah, whatever.
But that fight's not going down. I'm pissed about it. I know a lot of other people are pissed about it. I'm pretty sure Canelo is pissed about it.
Yeah, he went from a big money fight with Cotto to a pretty good money fight with James Kirkland.
But albeit fairly dangerous.
Yeah.
But Golovkin now, what Andy Lee and Quillen are set to...
Yes, Andy Lee and Quillen are set to fight. Endom and... Who is it?
It's not Saunders. It's Saunders was going to fight Endom, but he's going to fight someone else.
No, I think it might be Billy Joe Saunders.
No, he turned that down. Just because I know Eubank is fighting someone else. He's fighting Shootinov. No, I'm thinking of someone else. I don't know. It's kind of... It's weird right now because it's a lot of people not fighting anyone. But I know that Billy Joe Saunders, if I'm not mistaken, turned down a fight against Endom. Lee Quillen.
He's about to fight. They're about to fight for the vacant IBF belt that Jermaine Taylor had. The name is like right there in front of me, so it'll end up right here.
Yeah, it'll come to us soon. And also, so who is there left out there? A possible fight of the year candidate for as long as it goes with David Lemieux, because
I think he destroyed David Lemieux. But like he said, it could be good while it lasts because Lemieux has a little bit of pop.
I don't see any defense in this fight. I see 2 guys standing toe to toe, and because he doesn't have a little bit of pop, he has quite a bit. He punches hard. He has that stocky body, but he doesn't have any head movement.
Yeah, and against somebody like Golovkin, I don't see that going.
So you're gonna see a 3-round slugfest.
Yeah.
But that's all. That's all we got for you.
Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Share this with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. You can catch us on Facebook, Capital of Combat, Google Plus, same name. You can hit us up on an email, capitalofcombat@gmail.com, any of those mediums, and hit us up with any questions you have. You can hit us up. We'll see you in the combat mailbag. Check out the technical toolbox. We got a lot of good stuff coming for you. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
This is round 1 and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is come at a cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.